Have you been dealing with the dreaded Sunday scaries? You know, that feeling come Sunday night where you're dreading tomorrow, you're dreading the week ahead. You can't enjoy that remaining Sunday evening because all you're thinking about is what is in store for you in the week ahead, the work you have to do, the work you didn't finish last week, the work that you meant to catch up on this week, but you didn't. And now you are just sitting there spitting out in an anxiety tornado, right? If this has happened to you, I have something that I want to share with you that is going to help you to move past those Sunday scaries. And in fact, this is something where I used to have that stuff too. And once I started doing this, I don't have that at all anymore. And so I want to share it with you because I'm hoping that the same might be true for you. And so, what is this magical technique that you can try that will get rid of the Sunday scaries forever? It's pretty simple, actually. It is just doing a little bit of end of week planning. So it is a little bit of planning on Friday to set yourself up for the week ahead. And it's really important to think about like why this matters, right? Because you might be thinking, well, I do planning on Monday morning, right? And so I plan for the week ahead. Or maybe you're thinking, I don't plan at all. But if you do planning, you probably do it on Monday, right? For the week ahead. And that's great because any planning is better than no planning. But if you shift that planning that you're already doing on Monday to Friday, then you are going to have something really great happen. So, two things. One, you're going to be able to actually enjoy that weekend, including Sunday evening, because you will know that you have a plan in place for the week ahead and your brain can let that work stuff go, right? You will also show up Monday way more productive, way more ready to get started because you're not spending that time in that kind of need of activation energy Monday morning, trying to figure out what the week holds and what you're going to do and, just getting started, right? Or sometimes we just get started with email because that inbox has exploded over the weekend. And, by 5 p.m. on Monday, you haven't done anything except for gotten through the email, right? And so this is why doing a little bit of Friday planning can be incredibly effective, both for enjoying your weekend, for getting rid of those Sunday scaries, but also for making the next week a lot more productive. Now, how should you do this? What does this actually look like? I want to give you tactical, practical strategies to do it. So here's what I like to do. I like to open up my task list, my task system. I use TickTick for this. There's a link below if that's something that you're interested in, but I've reviewed probably 50 different task apps, and this one is by far my favorite. So open up TickTick or whatever you're using. It's a to-do list, whatever it is, open that up and open up your calendar on the other side. You want them side by side, or maybe you have a paper to-do list. That's fine. Open up your calendar and your paper to-do list. And what you want to do is look at the week ahead and you want to look at the tasks that you have available or that you have to do, right? And the time that you have available. And you're going to want to try and map those things together. So you're going to look at what you need to do. You're going to look at the time you have available and you're going to try to fit those things together. So what does this mean? It means that if you have a day full of back-to-back meetings, you are not trying to get a whole bunch of deep work done on that day because at best, you're going to be able to answer your emails, right? Your Slack messages, your Teams messages in between those meetings. And that's the absolute best. Maybe you miraculously have a day where you have like 3 uninterrupted hours. That's the day you're going to want to plan to get that deep work done, right? And what you're trying to do is you're trying to plan for the time you actually have instead of the time that you wish you had. And oftentimes we are just hoping against hope that we're going to be able to get this list done in the time that we have available, but we're not actually doing anything to make that happen. Now, what is going to happen as you go through this process is you are going to realize that you don't have time to do all the things. And that's okay, right? That's just part of life. We don't have time to do all the things in the time that we have available. But it is far better to realize this and make plans around it before we're in the middle of it, right? We want to separate that planning from the doing. So by doing this, on Friday for the week ahead, you're going to be able to really choose your priorities, right? And prioritization, it's not just about what you're going to do, it's about what you're not going to do, what you're not going to focus on so that you can move those things you are going to do forward. So you're going to be looking at your task list. You're going to be looking at your calendar and you are going to be moving things around so that the stuff I've assigned to myself on Monday fits into Monday. The stuff I've assigned on Tuesday fits into Tuesday and yada, yada, yada for the rest of the days, right? Now, when we're doing this, there are a couple of important caveats to think about. So one of them is that we want to make sure that we have buffer time, right? So there's going to be some amount of stuff you didn't know about yesterday that you have to do today that comes up every single day, right? And so you want to make sure that you're not scheduling, every single moment of that day, leaving no time for buffer, because then you're going to be in a world of pain when one little thing comes up and you can't absorb it into your day. So we don't want to plan for, every single moment. We want to make sure that we have an hour or two of buffer in there for the stuff that's going to come up or that's going to take longer than we think. We also want to make sure that we are planning for the regular stuff that has to be done, right? So make sure that you've got time in there to process your emails, your inboxes. Make sure you've got time in there to eat lunch, right? Take a couple of breaks. We don't want to say, we don't want to assume that we're looking at an 8-hour day and that we are going to be absolutely productive in every single one of those moments, or that all of those moments can be devoted to the new things, the new projects on our list. We want to make sure that we're accounting for the regular stuff that has to happen anyway. This is why oftentimes when people have tried planning in the past, they just feel really, disenfranchised by it, right? Because what happens is that you plan for the best of all possible worlds instead of for the realistic world that we live in, right? And we want to be planning for realism. We want to be planning for the time that we actually have. We want to be accounting for the stuff that we don't know about yet, but it's going to take time, etc. And so if you do this planning on Friday, and I would say this should take you 20, 30 minutes, and it will be 20 or 30 minutes well spent. It will be 20 or 30 minutes that saves you hours next week, right? So it takes a little time, but it's totally worth it because what's going to happen is you're going to be much more realistic about what you can accomplish. And therefore, you're going to be much more likely to accomplish it. And that does a couple of things. One, it makes us feel really good, right? Because we're able to do what we said we are going to do. But two, it also makes sure that we are not giving people very unrealistic deadlines for things that we're saying that we'll do, right? It makes sure that we're not getting ourselves into an overcommitment position where now we're going to be working late all week to make good on the promises that we made. Doing this look ahead, it really helps us to get realistic about what we can do and therefore communicate that to other people. Okay, now I'm going to give you one more tip here. Don't try to do this on Friday at 5 p.m. If you try to do this on Friday at 5 p.m., I guarantee you're not going to want to do it. You're going to be wiped out from the week. You're going to be tired. You're not going to have the mental bandwidth to do it. You're going to be fighting yourself, being like, I just have this one more email to answer. I can't do the planning. You're going to be trying to convince yourself that planning isn't real work and it's okay. And then you're going to be in the same boat you were in last week and the week before. So let me know in the comments. Have you tried something like this end of week planning? And if you have, how did it go? And if you haven't tried it, are you willing to give it a shot? Do you want to experiment with it this week and see what happens? Now, if you want to keep getting this type of content, actionable, practical content in your feed, then please go ahead and make sure to subscribe so that you see me here every single week.
Hey guys, video editor here. Just want to make sure that you guys subscribe and like the video, as it actually helps the channel out a lot, and only a small percentage of the people that watch your videos are subscribed.